Hello everybody, it is Nicole from iiKiui, and today we'll be reviewing the Hippe Crafter sketchbook that was kindly gifted to me. So let's not waste any time and hop right into the video. The price for the 2-pack on the company website is $27.99, and on Amazon it is $25.99. For the packaging, it came in a 2-pack, so it was covered in plastic, but I removed it before the video. As for the product, it is a spiral-bound sketchbook with a very colorful cover, which reminds me of the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. The sketchbook is 9 by 12 inches and includes 100 sheets of white paper. The pages are perforated, which means it makes it really easy to tear out if you decide that you want to remove a page from your sketchbook. On the front, it says you can use graphite, color pencils, markers, pens, and other dry media on this sketchbook, so let's go ahead and test that out. For graphite and color pencils, I found that it does blend well if you try to smudge it with your finger or a smudge stick. However, if you're using a softer lead, then I can see this smudging really easily unintentionally, and that can lead to a very messy sketchbook. For markers, I used alcohol markers to test it out, and I found that it was really easy to blend the marker on this paper, but as I mentioned in my previous How to Blend with Marker video, part 2, I found that it bleeds through the page really easily, and it does feather a lot. I did notice though that it does feather less if you use the fine tip or a less inky marker, but for the most part I tend to steer clear of using markers in sketchbook paper, just because the paper is not really made for alcohol markers. As for the pens, I tested out a fine liner, and I found that it dries really quickly and doesn't feather, but there is a little bit of ghosting if you look on the back side of the page. I found that the pen completely dries after 10 seconds or even faster, and you can use marker almost immediately over on top. I also tested out brush pens just to see if the inkiness of them would make a difference, and they don't feather, but they do just leave a little bit of ghosting on the backside. For the pros, I think this is a really good basic sketchbook. I like that the pages are perforated because personally, if I were to draw in a sketchbook and then I wanted to transfer it onto another piece of paper, I would probably tear it out and use a light box. So having the perforated pages make it really easy so your sketchbook doesn't look really messy. And I also really like that the ink dries really fast on this paper, so if you wanted to do quick sketches, as you can see me doing now, I use the pen and then almost immediately apply marker afterwards and don't have to worry about it smudging. As for the cons, this paper is definitely not made for alcohol markers, but I'm not sure if when they said markers they meant water-based markers and not alcohol markers. The alcohol markers tend to bleed through onto the next page, and they also feather quite a bit, so you're not going to get a very clean line. Overall, I would recommend this sketchbook for more sketchbook type materials like pens, pencils, and colored pencils. As I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't recommend these if you're going to use alcohol markers inside because the paper is not really made for them. I do think that this is a good size for a sketchbook because I personally like to draw larger, as I mentioned earlier, but anyone from a beginner to a professional can use this. Unfortunately, I have a really bad habit of not using sketchbooks or sketchbook paper, but I can find this being useful for others that love sketchbooks. So I hope you found this video useful or helpful in any way. If you did and want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you're notified of when I post a new video. So with that, I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. Keep drawing, keep creating, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!